What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are finishing off my reread of the Trials of Apollo just in time for the Tower of Nero to come out with Book 4, The Tyrant'S Tomb by Rick Riordan. As with my other videos with this reread, there are going to be spoilers in this, but obviously there aren't going to be spoilers for the Tower of Nero because as of this video coming out, it should be just about to come out or it'll have just come out. So I'm excited that I even completed this reread at all. But the Tyrant'S Tomb, oh my god. The Burning Maze is probably my favorite one in the series, I think, but Tyrant'S Tomb is a very close second, and that is because of all of the development that we get with Apollo and with Reyna. I love Reyna, and I really wanted her to have like so much more time in the Heroes of Olympus series. She does get a lot of time towards the end, but in this book, I feel like Rick Riordan just really took her character to a completely new level. So when we left off with the Burning Maze, things were getting very heavy. Jason has now died, and they are transporting his body back to New Rome. And we still have this horrible prophecy of, something horrible is going to happen to New Rome. We still have to figure out what's going on with the communications. We still got to take down these emperors. Like, a lot of things are still building and still happening. And the thing with Apollo is that after Jason's death, things have become very real for him. Like, suddenly, it's not like suddenly things matter to him, but it is that, like, things are very real, and I feel like he's finally realized that like people's lives are actually at stake here. Like, this isn't just about him, this is about so many other people, and you really feel that as he's brought into Camp Jupiter and he's meeting new people. We get a new character named Lavinia, who I love. She's a daughter of Terpsichore. She has pink hair. She is this beautiful lesbian goddess, and she is so great. But as he's meeting these new characters and he's seeing this camp and he's seeing these happy people, like, he's really starting to like be worried that something's going to happen to them. And Camp Jupiter has already had devastating losses. They already had a big battle that we didn't get to see, and he knows that more lives could be lost. I think once again, Rick Riordan is kind of using Camp Jupiter and New Rome as like this hope and this look into what the lives of Half-Bloods could be, because they're all living peacefully and they can live to like an older age, they can go to college, they can have families. So like, this is really like a very hopeful place. So whenever he has like a big battle happening here, you kind of know that like this is very serious and that there are really some big stakes here. And for Apollo, like, he's really starting to feel that. And he is kind of having to step back into this leadership role. Like, he's becoming closer and closer to being that god again while still being Lester. And I think with Apollo, he is now starting to face that maybe he's not the same person that he was when he started this journey. As this book goes on, he's faced more and more again with his mortality, and he's faced again with the mortality of these demigods around him. We do get a fake out death in this. As opposed to the Burning Maze when Jason actually died, we get a fake out death with Frank, and we see him burn his firewood all the way down in order to take out 2 out of the 3 emperors. When I first read this, I was like about ready to throw it across the wall because I'm like, you cannot tell me that we're going to lose 2 of the 7. That is just way too many. Frank is okay. He does come back, and it was kind of this interesting look at how like curses can affect you, and how the original person who had the same curse as Frank Zhang, he never knew his destiny, he couldn't take control of it, but since Frank could take control of his destiny, that is what saved him in the end. And I think that'll be important for Apollo to learn when it comes to the Tower of Nero, to take control of your destiny and to know that like you are in command of things happening here. You don't have to leave your life up to others. But on top of that though, a lot of people still die. Some new characters that we get, we also hear like names from the previous books that are dying. Like, a lot of people do die in this book, which reading it the second time kind of struck me differently than it did the first time. And I feel like, again, that's just Rick kind of trying to prepare us that like, hey, things are getting serious, things are getting heavy, and it really does kind of make me worry about what's in store for us when we get to book 5. Like, are we going to see Apollo die? Are we going to see, something big and major happen? I don't know, probably, but I really feel like he's trying to set you up emotionally for that to happen, which I do really appreciate, because sometimes when authors try to do something big and different like this, it can feel out of character for them, or the writing can feel kind of weird. But with this, I feel like Rick is really trying to prepare you for where we're going, and I really think that's even more evident as I've been rereading these books. My favorite part of the Tyrant'S Tomb, though, is of course Reyna. Reyna is somebody who I feel like has really just kind of been going through it in the background for a long time, which I think you can kind of say the same for like Nico, but with Reyna, she is this powerful Roman leader, and she, you know, ran away with her sister. She has this very tragic backstory. She was at one time a pirate. Her sister became the queen of the Amazons, and she's very lonely. And she has also had this basically prophecy decree-ish thing told to her by Venus herself, and saying that no demigod would ever be able to heal her heart, which of course sounds very ominous. And in this book, you see that she's really struggling. She's very stressed. She has been in charge and a leader for such a long time. And when she gets the opportunity to go on a quest and kind of leave it behind, suddenly she seems so much lighter, like to be able to step away from it and just kind of like go on a road trip with her dogs and like hang out with Apollo and Meg, and like, yeah, they're risking life and limb to find the soundless god and all that kind of stuff, but she's so much lighter all of a sudden. And we find that she's really trying to find who she is outside of all of these labels. And another thing that is being forced on her is that everybody's trying to make her happy. Everybody's trying to make her less lonely. They're being like, oh, you should date this person, you should date that person, which the first time I read it, I really felt like Rick was like calling out the shippers, and I still kind of think that he is, but what he was getting at is that Reyna is asexual, and at the end of this book, she joins the Hunters of Artemis, which was really beautiful, and I really loved that. As somebody who identifies as Aro Ace, I really loved being able to see that as a main character in his books. Rick Riordan has said that for him, the Hunters of Artemis are like the asexual, aromantic like representation for his Camp Half-Blood like whole mythology. So I really love being able to see like one of our main characters recognize this within herself and join that hunt too. It was just really beautiful to see. And Reyna, by the end of this book, like, she just seemed so much lighter and so much happier and so much more herself to be able to like step back and just have fun and just figure her life out. I really loved seeing that for her, and along with the development that we got for Piper, I just really loved that we got to see that with another female character as well. So going into the Tower of Nero, like, I'm really prepared for some big things to happen. Like, in this book, we see the death of a god. We actually see like this soundless god like want to be forgotten, and he fades away. And we also see once again like the curse of being like Apollo's Sibyl and like living forever and blah blah blah. Like, just the hardships that people have gone through because of Apollo, and Apollo sees it this time. He sees like what his Sibyl has gone through. He sees what the soundless god has gone through. He sees the death of them both, and I just really feel like we are getting prepared to see Apollo die. Maybe not necessarily like die, but there even has been mention of like the sun would keep turning without him kind of thing. So I'm wondering if he's gonna give up his godhood in Tower of Nero. Like, that's kind of where I'm envisioning this going. I'm not sure. Part of me wants him to give up his godhood because I feel like he's kind of grown beyond it. But another part of me wants to see him become a god again and then just be better. He's learned so much, and he's promised to remember, he's promised to like do all these things, and I feel like if he's restored to being a god, he can really do a lot of good and do a lot of change. So I'm interested to see where that's gonna go. We are now going back to New York. We're gonna face Nero again. There's probably going to be a lot of stuff, you know, with Meg's backstory and everything that's gonna get dragged back up to the surface. We're gonna be back in the Camp Half-Blood area, and I'm really sad, guys. Like, this is gonna be the last book in his whole Percy Jackson universe. He said that he might do some spin-offs or some one-offs here and there, but like, this is going to be the last of the main series, and it's very bittersweet, but I think that this is going to be a really epic finale. So I love the Tyrant'S Tomb. It's getting an A+ from me. I'm so happy that I reread these books before the Tower of Nero, and hope you guys are ready because this book is coming out soon. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to Top Books with me every week. That is everything got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.